I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Green Bay Packers. With that, let's get up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Standing by for the call from venerable Lambeau Field, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, this is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Houston Texans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And off we go from Lambeau. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
So pinpoint, so accurate. Sometimes we forget just how good he is. We start to take him for granted because he always places the ball exactly where it needs to be for his receivers.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. 5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
It's tough to be an offensive lineman in Green Bay because their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, knows how to keep plays alive and often extends them for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. But David Bakhtiari, his left tackle, he does it as well as anyone could ever expect. Excellent footwork, knows that the plays are going to stay alive for a long time. Often will get 2 or 3 blocks on the same play.
2nd and 5 now. Rodgers got a man. That's Allison. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Now Jones. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
Versatile players on defense are all the rage in the NFL, but it also helps to have a Benardrick McKinney who does one thing very, very well, and that's tackle ball carriers. Big man. Big size inside, looks like a defensive end playing inside linebacker. Still has the ability to run and cut runners off before they can get downfield.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's got it. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Rolling to his right. He'll run it. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Watson. He's got Fuller. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Slipping into the backfield for the sack was Oren Burks.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Watson. It's complete to Fuller.
Complete to Will Fuller. A gain of 10 yards, and it's 3rd down.
Stop a sec. 19. And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Open man, the tight end fails. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Tyler Irvin back deep. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Crunch time, defense.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Open man is Allison complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. DeAndre Carter's deep for the Texans. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And now out comes Houston. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
50 to Mike. 50 to Mike.
From his goal line here, Watson going to throw right side here, complete. Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 95 yards, and the Texans have taken the lead. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to wind up and air it out. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a gain of 35.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. From the gun, he'll throw. And that's complete to Adams. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Rodgers now operating from the gun. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 18.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Off the draw, here's Williams. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today.
27-yard attempt.
The kick by Crosby is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties.
We got this.
Now comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. He may try and run for this. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. It's a pickup of 5. Brings up 2nd down. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Second and 5 now. Watson, the catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 32-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now it's Watson. And his throw here is incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
On 2nd and 10, Watson throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. They were searching for the tight end, Darren Fells, and that'll make it 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
To throw is Watson. To throw on 3rd down. He can run for it, and he will. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And Graham's got it. Complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Rodgers going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Back to throw, Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
The Texans on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Faking the give, now Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Watson, off play action. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Za'Darius Smith. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Watson. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 38-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Watson now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Watson with a give to Miller, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 13-yard line.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Set. 19. Switch up. Switch up.
From the red zone now, Watson. He finds Hopkins complete, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
One man in the backfield, that's Miller, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football, if you're going to throw.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans push further out in front.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker. Sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
We got 4.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rodgers. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throws right side, and that's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It's the Wisconsin native and former Badger, J.J. Watt, able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The Packers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is going to be 3rd and 13. On play action, it's Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 36.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This from 36 yards out. And Crosby puts it through, and that'll get the lead down to 5. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And a look now at Lamar Miller. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally, you run to set up the pass. Here, it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Miller. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's got Fuller. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Watson on first down. Open man, the tight end fails. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. It's complete to Hopkins. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 25-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Watson on target here to Fuller and taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, first and goal. Watson looks to throw again. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his third touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans push further out in front. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up.
All day, every day, any day.
On first down, Rodgers. His throw incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, here we go. Let's go, D, let's go.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Gets this to his running back. Aaron Jones. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Deshaun Watson making his way back out. The focus of our players' spotlight. He's enjoying a great deal of success. His team is also enjoying a great deal of success.
Yeah, he's got that nice little, what I call the QB lean going right now. You see that little stroll that he's got
swagger
going? Yeah, he's definitely got that. You see him throwing the football, this nice little video. He's seeing that in his head as well because he wants more of that to happen. So anytime you see him that relaxed, that comfortable, usually it's a big thumbs up for his team.
Yeah, it's been a big highlight day for him. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way. I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now it's Watson. Got an open man. It's QT. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Check, set, 3T. Check, 42's the mark. Hey, man, watch the boot.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Dean Lowry. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you gotta expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Lamar Miller. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They keep it with Miller on 1st down. On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Watson. With a catch made by Hopkins. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Got what he needed for the 1st down with a gain of 2.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Miller. Tackle made by Montravius Adams.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Watson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hopkins. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
They'll go with a draw. Watson hands to Miller. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. from the gun. Here's Watson sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They go play action here on 1st down. It's caught here by Adams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong. He's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work out a little bit more.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans 16.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Rodgers throwing quickly out to Adams. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 2nd and inches, Rodgers, and he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Zach Cunningham. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9.
That's the way. Mike, 55.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So out comes the field goal team once more. The kick by Crosby is good. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. Another 3 on the board. He's been the lone bright spot. That's now 4 field goals.
If this offense had finished a few drives, we'd be looking at a different complexion to this ball game because right now, the trade is really wrong for them, isn't it? They're trading field goals while the other team's scoring touchdowns. That's not going to work.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
On 1st down, Miller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, this is the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Out of the gun, Watson. And that will be incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go. Let's go.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Rodgers. And some space here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And this results in 6. Touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Rodgers to try again after the pick six. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Bartney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Well, let's see who's faster.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers, he's going to look deep. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 51 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Got a man, that's Allison. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Now Mason Crosby for the Packers field goal try. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And Crosby puts it through, and that'll get the deficit back to 16. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. A shotgun handoff now to Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
To throw is Watson. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he didn't quite have the back spin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun, because let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Watch the screen. SOS.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Jones hit and the ball's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Green 18. Cut.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Rodgers, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Mike is set. 19. This is
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
The tackle made at his own 5-yard line. It's a gain of 2 yards, and it's 3rd down. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he is going to have the 1st down as he's up to his own 13-yard line. 8 yards there, getting him out of danger. It's a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10. This is Miller. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now a 1st down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. On the counter, it's Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And the Packers pick it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here we go. Set. 19. Yeah. You don't want none.
On first down, it's Watson. He's got Fuller. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 42-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Off of play action, it's Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Going to run the sweep here. This is Hopkins. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Here's Watson. Open man is QT, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
Watch tight end.
Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson, and that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Zadarius Smith picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this score will stay right where it is. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he will find his man on the outside. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st. You cannot write these guys off just yet. Not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Rodgers going to throw. And this is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Single, 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 single.
Rodgers now throwing again, and he finds his tight end, Graham. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Now Rodgers. He completes it to Jones. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to about the 19. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Okay, so thought they might go for it here, down late. Instead, they trot out the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. The kick by Crosby is good. And that will cut the lead down to 13. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed him out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. So glancing at these numbers, I think they tell a story of, hey, early on, he got hot, he got their attention. They've been able to hone in on him, shut him down a bit.
He certainly did get their attention, and that's the ultimate compliment for a player, that when you come out in the second half, all of a sudden there's extra guys around you, there are different coverages rolled your way. That means you've done something really well. Now it's up to him to make his own adjustment and find a way to beat the new defenses he's facing.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Carlos Hyde in the game. And bulldozing through multiple tackles. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. So the solid run on 1st, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all in your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Preston Smith. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Draw play. This is Miller. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
3rd and long. It's Watson. It's caught. It's Miller. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. He's north of 150 yards in this game. He's been doing his thing, hasn't he?
That he has, and he's been enjoying himself. And it's the type of game that you get locked into a pretty good groove. May not be record-shattering, but but it's the type of game that if you accumulate that throughout a season, you're going to be one of the top receivers in the game.
See how much they incorporate him here on this drive. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers firing quickly here, and that's complete. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Geronimo Allison the target there, but it's going to be 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Looking deep for Adams. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the headlinesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Rodgers now to throw, and that is incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. The Packers go for it. Rodgers. And able to find Graham, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. Rodgers to throw once more. He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They call it no gain there on the 1st down play.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Got a man, that's Allison. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here, 3rd and 4. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Rodgers again now. He'll get this to Jay Kumaro. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 20-yard line. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and it didn't do it very often.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 13-yard line.
Rodgers in control as he hurries his guys to the line. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys are back within a single score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Crosby with the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. So with just under 40 seconds to go, you figure this is going to need to bounce their way if they have any shot. And this will be recovered by the Texans. So victory appears to be in sight. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Check set. 19. 42's the mark. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
They'll run on first down. It's Miller as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Back to the ground. This time it's Hyde. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
set, 19. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be
Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game. Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big fourth quarter comeback. Able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? In the fourth quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And never an easy thing to do, no matter how good Green Bay is, what the year is, to come into Lambeau and get the victory, but they did it.
You're not just battling the team that you're playing that day. You're not just battling the crowd that's in attendance in that game. You're battling the history of the franchise. You're battling the ghosts that swirl around that place that help spur them on to victory. It is an unbelievable atmosphere, the most historic place in the league, and you have to make sure you stay focused on your task. Otherwise, you can get easily distracted.
Yeah, hats off to them for keeping that laser focus and getting the victory. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.